So we open on a brilliant plan from Holly for how Lister can shorten his sentence.
Become a dog. Dog years are 7 times shorter than human years, according to a 20th century newspaper called the National Enquirer. The operation's quite straightforward. A roverostomy, they call it.
Every time Rimmer walks into the room, it reminds me that he's back, and it makes me all happy.
I had everything, and I threw it all away. It's a tragedy.
What are you on about? You had none of that stuff.
You're right, I had none of that stuff. I had absolutely nothing, and I threw it all away. It's an even bigger tragedy.
That's pretty similar to a line from Red Dwarf USA.
I mean, in a sick way, it's really kind of impressive, you know? I started out with absolutely nothing, and I couldn't hang on to it.
It's only 2 years. What with good behaviour, it'll probably be 18 months. Remember when you were first born, and then you were 18 months? The time just flashed past.
It flashed past because you had 2 breasts big as your head at your beck and call day and night.
So time flies when you're having fun?
Give me that now, and I wouldn't be whinging.
Anyway, Lister has signed up for the Canaries.
Do a singing troupe, a cappella. You are the sunshine of my life. That's why I'll always be alright.
Which apparently isn't what he thinks it is.
Oh, Listy. Listy, Listy, Listy.
Rimmer tells him about how when miners wanted to go into a pit, they lowered a canary in a cage into it first to test if the air was poisonous. God damn it, that just makes me think of the Silent Hill movie.
The Canary's job was to go into the most dangerous, unpleasant, and smeggy situations and see if it could stay alive. Then they'd know if it was safe to send in the important people.
So yeah, this is what Lister actually signed up for.
It gets worse as well.
Worse, go on.
I've signed you up too. I've signed us all up. Crichton, Chris, everyone.
So they're Canaries now. Their first assignment is to explore a derelict ship that's at the bottom of an ocean where the crew apparently disappeared without a trace. Rimmer tries to play it off as if they really did sign up to be in a music group and wandered into the wrong room.
Start behaving like a man.
A man, sir. Yes, of course, sir. A man. Perhaps if you could just remind me, sir, I'm sure it will all come back.
But that goes about as well as you'd expect. I'm sure they aren't the only ones to try to get out of being a canary.
Let's go kill something! Yeah!
This guy is called Kill Crazy, and he's easily one of the best things about Season 8. So they take a diving bell down to the ship, which is a pretty cool looking sequence actually. I'll give Season 8 one thing, it's really impressive visually.
Here we go!
And so much for Kill Crazy. So Kachansky has found the mainframe and our main characters get separated from the rest of the group.
Good evening, Arnold. I've been looking forward to your arrival so very much.
So this is Cassandra, a computer that's supposed to be able to accurately predict the future.
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary.
The questions we can ask, it can tell us our future.
The questions we can ask.
This gag goes on a little long. In any case, Rimmer wants to ask her about their future.
I know, Arnold, because I know the rest of this conversation. He chokes to death, aged 181, trying to remove a bra with his teeth.
And ends up asking about Lister's death.
I didn't want to know that. Whose bra?
181? Probably your own.
Taking a bra off with me teeth age 181. That's a hell of a sexy way to go.
So long as the teeth are in your mouth at the time, sir.
Thanks for the mental images, everybody.
I never wants to know that. Know how I die? It's completely spoiled the surprise.
So naturally, Crichton has a theory.
The ship was sent here by the Space Corps on autopilot to get rid of you.
How'd you work that out?
I read it on this mission directive here.
That's actually kind of a fun take on how Crichton always conveniently has the answers.
There was no dead bodies on board, because the ship didn't have a crew.
They want to leave now, but apparently the ship is filling up with water and they aren't going to make it, according to Cassandra.
All the Canaries will be dead within 1 hour, except for Rimmer.
Yes!
Who will be dead in 20 minutes. Only Lister, Crichton, the cat, and Kachansky survive.
What happens to Rimmer?
He has a heart attack, brought on by the stress of knowing he's going to die, in 19 minutes and 31 seconds.
And everyone is kind of creeped out now. All of this is kind of familiar, and Lister reminds everyone about future echoes. But since Kachansky wasn't there for that, he explains what it was about.
Well, we learned that if the future's already decided, you can't change it.
You're a chicken soup machine repairman, not Hank Handsome space adventurer.
More like a little from column A and a little from column B.
Hey, I've been surviving in space 5-6 years. When it comes to weirdy, paradoxy space stuff, I bought the t-shirt.
He bought it and I ironed it for him.
That's telling him, Criters.
So, you're saying the future's the future, And like your underpants, the chances of change are remote.
Rimmer, having not experienced future echoes firsthand, refuses to believe that their futures are set, which leads Crichton to thinking that Rimmer's lack of experience, compared to the rest of them, could be a good thing.
Harness your stupidity, sir. Use your empty-headed, simplistic moron mind and find a solution.
Well, it sounded good for a while. So Rimmer has Crichton play back the conversation with Cassandra, and it turns out that there was no point where she referred to him as Rimmer. She just said Rimmer dies.
She could have seen some other guy die of a heart attack. Someone she's been told is called Rimmer.
Here comes the guy who delivered the crotch attack earlier. So Rimmer spills coffee on him and gives him the vest with Rimmer's name on it.
A perfect fit, sir.
And takes him back to Cassandra.
Hello, Arnold. Bang on time.
What happens to me? Do I get back to Earth?
No, you die in about 4 seconds' time of a heart attack after hearing the news that you're going to die of a heart attack.
Filthy.
Yes!
But of course that doesn't work.
Rimmer dies of a heart attack, and then you and all the other Canaries die too. I've seen it.
That's as well as maybe, but have you seen this?
Yes, I'm afraid I have.
I believe it. So Crichton has a theory that, due to Cassandra's prediction, everyone but Rimmer is basically invulnerable as long as they're on the ship. So they form a shield around him and escort him back to the diving bell where he'll be safe.
Chris, take cover, the water's coming!
Except the ship starts to flood, so Rimmer and Kachansky end up trapped in the lower area with Cassandra.
You tried to cheat the future and failed, as I knew you would.
So Rimmer gives up and straight up asks her how he dies.
Lister catches you making love to Kachansky and shoots you through the head with a harpoon gun.
Arnold, that's me, and Kachansky, that's the woman.
I love how he double checks that she knows who Kachansky is so he won't get any surprises.
When Lister, that's the short dumpy one with a stupid haircut, walks in and shoots me through the head while I'm making love with Kachansky.
Fantastic!
Yeah, this is pretty icky. There's a lot of this sort of thing in Season 8, unfortunately.
I mean, let's face it, you can't change the future, sadly.
But you said you could.
Yeah, I've changed my mind now.
Of course, Kachansky is determined to not let it happen, but fate seems to be on Rimmer's side, ironically.
It's coming true. It's all coming true.
It's coming true. It's all coming true.
Meanwhile, the rest of them have made it back to the diving bell, but Lister is going to go back and save Kachansky with a harpoon gun.
I'm not sure about this. This is the first time I've ever been seduced by predeterminism theory.
Oh, bloody buggering hell!
And thank God he got there before this scene got any more icky.
I've got it.
That's more than I did.
I must have been mad. What the hell was I thinking?
I want to believe that the writers said that after the fact. So Lister has figured everything out, or thinks he has. Cassandra made up the bit about Rimmer and Kachansky to get back at Lister.
So why did she say she saw it happen?
To try and make it happen. Because Cassandra knows and has always known how she dies. She's trying to make me suffer now for something that I'm destined to do in the future.
Actually, it was Crichton who figured it out.
But did he really have to figure it out quite so damn fast? Would it have killed him to take 30 minutes longer? 10 minutes even? 2 would have done.
So Lister goes to confront Cassandra and makes a speech about how he doesn't believe in fate.
So I'm not going to kill you, Cassandra. What happens in the future is up to me, not some predetermined destiny smeg. I'll see you kidding.
And then it turns into Final Destination. Cassandra's reaction is gold. Lister's too. And so ends Cassandra, in both ways that can be taken. This episode is mostly pretty good as Season 8 goes. Like I said, I feel like Season 8 is unnecessarily bleak, with them being in a penal colony, and now it's gone even further with them being human versions of Canaries sent into mines to probably die. But putting that aside, most of the comedy works. And Cassandra herself is great. I love how sassy she is and how she always smirks at Rimmer, even if her dialogue gets a bit repetitive at times. Also, great choice with her name. Cassandra was a figure from Greek mythology who was cursed to utter prophecies which were true, but which no one believed. Which, aside from the bit with Rimmer and Kachansky, actually suits her pretty well, right up until the end. So while this episode isn't as good as Sirens, it's cool to have another Greek mythology reference. I already mentioned that Kill Crazy is a fun character, and the bit with Rimmer and Kachansky is kind of icky, so I guess that's about all I have to say about this one. Hey, I'm already halfway through Season 8. Next up is Crydy TV. See you then.
Mango's juice, go fish, living on my tongue.
What's that word women tennis players always used to reckon was so important? Begins with C.
Cunnilingus?
Centered.